guys, it's Lindsay here with Pilates On Demand. Today we are going to do a ankle, foot, Achilles, and shin stretch strengthening video. So it'll be a bunch of stretch and strengthener drills to help you get better mobility from the feet and right below the knee. That's where our focus is going to be today. So thinking of everything runs up the chain. If you've got weakness in your feet or your ankles, that could probably affect your knees or your hips because they'll be compensating for what the work of the feet and the ankles should be doing. So let's get into some stretches and strengtheners to help keep you from having any weakness there. So I want you to just start in a lunge stance. I'm going to show it from a lot of different angles. You'll have your left foot planted forward, ankle underneath knee, and then your right knee you're kneeling on. We're going to tuck the right toes. Now I'm going to manually pull the toes forward so the whole ball of the foot is planted. I want you to try to get your pinky toe tucked forward so your toes point towards that right knee. Okay, from here you're going to send your hips back, taking a seat down onto the right heel. This is where you're going to feel the stretch, and then you're going to shift it forward. Now you want to make sure that your heel is in line with your sits bone. So I'll show you what that means from behind. So looking at my toes are tucked, the heel isn't out to the side or in towards the body. It is directly in line with my hip. So I'm taking that seat down on the heel. Got to pull my pinky toe forward. That's the one that doesn't like to tuck. And then I'm going to come back up. So hinging back, taking a seat. That's where you're feeling a big stretch throughout your toes and the arch of the foot. And then coming back up. So these stretches, strengtheners we're going to do today for the feet are really great if you wear a lot of closed-toed shoes. When you wear a closed-toed shoe, it does not let the foot articulate, right? It keeps your foot in one position. So that actually weakens a lot of muscles in the foot, unfortunately. That's why barefoot training, yoga, Pilates is important to do. Okay, we're gonna do 3 more of these. Really feeling it in my toes. Last 2. Good, and then 1 more. Big stretch in the arch, and then we bring it up. Okay, we're gonna just switch sides. So you're gonna step that right foot forward into a lunge, heel underneath knee, and then tuck the left toes. And I'm gonna pull the left toes forward. Okay, and then we're gonna shift the hips back, sitting onto that left heel. Good, pushing the ball of the foot down, and then coming back up. If you need to modify this position, you can slide a pillow or more right underneath the base of your leg. So when you take a seat, you're higher up. That will put less pressure, less intensity on the stretch. And then as you get stronger with the stretch and can handle more, you can slide 1 pillow out at a time until you're able to sit all the way down on your heel. You could also use a blanket, anything that just rises or lifts the height of your leg up. Good. Keep in mind that that heel is still in line with your sits bone. Good. We're sitting back and drawing it up. Good. Let's take 3 more here. Good. And last 2. Good, and last 1. Good, and then bringing it up. Okay, we're going to come to kneeling. Toes are untucked, hips distance apart, and you're going to take a seat on your heels. So we still want that same alignment with the heel and the toes pointing straight back behind you. So just take a little peek at that. You're going to place your right hand on the floor to the side of you. Your left hand will grab your left knee. Now I want you to press the top of that left foot down into the ground. You're going to lift the left knee up, and then you'll lean your body weight back and pull up on the left knee. This is going to stretch the muscles around the shin. If it's too intense, then don't lean so far back. If you need more, you're going to start to lean further and further back. I want you to think of your toenails Try to imagine them, create that mind-body connection, and that's where I want you to be pushing down with your foot into the floor, like you're trying to make a toenail print on the ground beneath you. Woo! A good stretch. And okay, let's release that side. We're gonna take it to the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna have my left hand out to the left. My right hand's going to grab my right knee. I'm pushing the top of my right foot into the floor. And then I'm gonna lift my right knee up by leaning my body weight back and pulling up with my right hand. Good, I'm feeling that connection of my toenails clicking down into the mat. I'm hugging my heel in towards the middle line of my body so the heel doesn't splay out to the side. And then as I loosen up a little bit, I'm gonna shift more body weight back. Good, give me about 10 more seconds here. And if it's too intense to stay on the stretch, release it today, and each time try to build on an extra second or two as we do these stretches. Progress, not perfection. It's a saying for a reason. And release that. Okay, come on up, come to all fours, and I just want you to straighten your right leg, shake it out. Straighten your left leg, shake it out. Okay, so now we're going to sit on both heels with our toes tucked. So we're kneeling hips distance. We're gonna tuck the toes. I want you to pull the toes forward. This is really important. It's going to deepen the stretch and make sure that we get the pinky toe down. So we've got our heels in line with our sits bones. The modification would be to slide that pillow or blanket underneath your hips. So you're higher up, and that will put less intensity on the stretch here in the arch of the foot. Good, if you are ready to add on to the intensity of this, you're gonna lean your body weight back. So we're here to lessen it. We're here to be about an intermediate place, and we're gonna keep bringing it back if we want more. So I feel like my feet are pretty flexible. This feels good to me. I'm gonna lean back into it. I just want you to take big deep breaths. Try not to hold your breath while we're doing these stretches. Holding your breath is going to create muscle tension and contraction, and we're quite literally trying to do the opposite. Trying to stretch it out. Okay, let's hold this for about 10 more seconds. I really feel this in my toes. Good, okay, we're gonna bring it on up and then come to kneeling, untuck your toes. So we're on the top of the foot now. Both toes point straight back. Press your toenails down. Blanket or pillow underneath your hips to modify. Then you're gonna sit down either on the blanket or the pillow or onto your heels. So this is a stretch for the top of the shins. If you've got any knee pain, you come out. Don't do it if you have any knee pain. So from here, to deepen that shin stretch, hands are gonna be placed by the knees. That's gonna be the first place. And then you're gonna lift the knees up. Now to intensify this, the body weight and the hands walk back. So maybe you're at your mid shin, you lift up from there, and then lower it down. And I want you to progressively, a couple inches at a time, walk your hands back towards your ankles and lift the knees up, push the toes into the floor, and then take them back down. I'm gonna keep walking it back to my ankle. I'm gonna lean back now more. Lift the knees up and then place that down. Okay, I think I've got a couple more in me. My hands are definitely helping me now. Heels hugging in. Good, okay, one more. Leaning back on those hands, lifting up onto those toenails. Good, and then roll it forward and release. Okay, we're gonna come into an Achilles stretch. So you're going to plant your feet down. I'm gonna have my feet all the way together. I'm gonna show you this from the side. So your heels will lift. It's kind of like you're doing more than a squat. I want you to just completely drop your butt towards your heels. This is going to lift your heels up. They're going to be suspended in space. I want you to shift the weight back as if your heels could touch the ground. So this is where you should be feeling that stretch in the Achilles. Good, from the heel up towards the calf. Good, and I want the heels floating. So they could be high up if you're tighter. Maybe they're just barely off the ground if you're looser. Good, we're gonna hold this for about 20 more seconds. Good, big stretch in the back of that leg. Okay, the next exercise we're going to do standing. So you're gonna lose my face, but you're gonna get a great view of my lower legs. Good, okay, you're gonna plant your hands and brush yourself all the way up. Okay, we're looking at the feet for a couple moments. So we're going to do something called supination and pronation of the foot. So your toes will point straight forward the whole time. So we're not turning out or in with the foot. We are turning the bottom of the foot in and out. So supination, I'm going to turn the bottoms of my feet towards each other and roll onto the pinky toe side of my foot. Now notice my toes still point in the exact same direction. This should create a stretch here in the outside of the ankle. Then we're going to reverse this and roll to the inner arch of the foot, lift the pinky toes up. Now I am contracting that area and lengthening the inner ankle. Notice how my toes still point forward. Okay, so we're gonna go through that a couple times. From the bottom of the foot, we're gonna roll to the pinky toe side of the foot. The inner ankle area is contracting. The outer ankle area is lengthening. Then we're gonna roll to the arch of the foot, pinky toes lift. We're contracting the outer ankle area and lengthening the inner ankle area. Okay, so I just want you to do a couple more of those. And this is definitely a mind-body connection one, right? So it might feel a little funky to move like this. I don't feel like most of us practice this. So just pay attention to knees bending or toes turning in and out. Those toes are staying in the same direction the whole time. Rolling in, rolling out. Good, let's do 2 more each way. Roll out, roll in. We're looking for big range of motion. So when you turn the bottoms of the feet towards each other, you're trying to lift the big toe side of the foot as high up as you can. And then when you roll onto the big toe side of the foot, you're trying to lift the outer foot, the pinky toe side of the foot, up as high as you can. Good, and then just release, give a little shake, loosen that up. We're gonna do some toe rolls. So, feet are hips distance. I want you to shift weight to your heels and lift your toes up. Spread them apart from your big toe to your pinky toe. You're widening the foot. Then you're gonna roll the foot down. Pinky toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, big toe. So you're fanning the feet, okay? I know, let's practice it a couple times. Flex those toes up off of the mat. Spread the toes apart, create space from your pinky toe to your big toe, and then place one toe at a time down. Pinky, second, third, fourth, big toe. Okay, toes lift up. Spread them apart as wide as you can. Remember, big range of motion. Then roll the foot, toe by toe, back to the mat. Good, so there's muscles in all of these toes. Like I said earlier, when we wear tennis shoes, this kind of stuff gets really tight. Sometimes I see people's feet look kind of like pushed together like this. You might want to check your shoes. They might be a little bit too tight or too narrow for you. You want to make sure there is a little bit of space between the toes naturally. Lift the toes up, spread, and then roll the toes to the mat. Feel like you're pushing the toes firmly into the floor once you get those toes down. Let's do 2 more. Spread them apart, roll to the mat. Good, last one. Lift, spread apart, roll it down. Okay, we're going to do a forced arch. So let's take this right foot first. You're gonna let's spread those toes just like we did, and then press the toes down and lean your body weight forward, lifting the heel up as high as you can. Good, and then we're gonna switch. So left toes spread apart, press the ball of the foot down, and then lean forward. One thing I also want you to pay attention to is that your toes are straight and they don't look like this, where your knuckles are gripping the ground. So long toes rather than tight, clenched toes. So that knuckle in the center of the toe should be on the mat. Okay, let's do a couple calf raises. Now our focus is not a strengthening, maybe a little bit of strengthening, but more so that we keep the toes spread out like we've been practicing. And then when you lift your heels up, each and every toe in the ball of the foot is down. Long toes, so notice if you're gripping the floor, I'm paying attention, I'm doing that a little bit. And then press the heels back down. Now, if you feel like your balance is really hard here, use a chair, right? We're not focusing on balance today. We are focusing on strengthening, stretching the arch of the foot. Good, feeling the toes spread apart and each toe bear weight. So notice when you're up, if you're rolling onto the outer edge or rolling onto your big toe and some of your other toes are light, that's what we're trying to get rid of here. That's what we're trying to correct. So I want you to spread the toes apart so that when you lift the heels up, there's weight on each toe. And then lower back down. Okay, give me 2 more. So we lift, you're pausing at the top, capitalizing on that real estate, making sure each toe has weight on it. We float it down. Good, last one. Lift it up. And float it down. Okay, our last thing is a mobility drill. It's gonna work everything from the knee, ankle to the toe joints. Okay, it's a little bit more challenging than the last things, but let's just play around with it and have fun. So from standing, I'm gonna show from different angles. I'll start sideways. Feet hips distance, parallel, toes are spread open. You're gonna take a seat by dropping your hips all the way down towards your heels, trying to keep the heels down. Then we're gonna roll through the foot. Ball of the foot is tucked, knees are down. We're gonna reverse this. We're gonna shift the body weight back, heels down, and then keeping the heels down, coming all the way up to standing. So heels, tush to heels, roll forward, knees to the mat, roll back, heels to the mat, and then we stand up, reversing it. Hips down to the heels, that's a stretch for the Achilles. Knees to the mat, stretch for the arches of the feet. And then we reverse it. Heels down, and we stand up. Okay, let's look at this from the front. So here we go. We're gonna go big bend of the knees, sit the heels down to the mat. Shift forward, knees down. Still sitting down on the heels. Shift back, heels down, and stand up. Can you give me 2 more? We go down to the heels, trying to keep them planted. We shift forward, knees down. We shift back, heels down. Oops, almost lost that one. You stand up. Now there's a good amount of core engagement here, right? And your back. Trying to keep your back straight, chest open. Good, last one to the heels. And then take a seat. Good work, guys. How do those ankles feel? Nice and worked? I feel like I have a lot of awareness of my toes right now. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's class. I hope your toes, ankles, knees, shins all feel stretched out and you'll have an idea of how to help yourself build up any weakness in those areas. My name's Lindsay Bushman. This is Pilates On Demand, practice this a couple times a week to undo what closed-toed shoes do to our feet, help strengthen any imbalances, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Please like, subscribe, and share to Pilates On Demand, and I hope to see you on the next workout. Bye, guys.